What did a crush do that made you instantly lose interest in him? She asked me to prom. I said yeah. 2 days before prom I actually don't want to go with you. But I already bought both of our tickets. As the guy, I expect you to pay me back for them. I tried to explain that's not how transactions work. She kept telling me it was my responsibility. I asked if she was smoking crack. Never heard from her again. Not something that she did, but her breath smelled like ship, literally like ship. I had been seeing this girl for 2 months in college and things were going all right. I was helping her move when she decided it was the moment to have a serious talk. She sat me down and in a very serious tone told me she had been doing some digging. She confronted me with the fact that I had dated black women. I kind of thought it was a joke at first. I guess my brain couldn't comprehend that this was still a thing. No, she was dead serious and explained to me that while she had nothing against black people, she didn't believe in mixing races. I was dumbfounded. I got up and walked out. He said that he doesn't like ugly people and they all should die or be put in a corner. He threw my sister's birthday card for our mum out of the car's window as a joke, even though my sis told him she spent 6 hours making it. He made my sister cry. Edit. I too would have liked to throw him out of the window, but we were young at that time. Coming home from school and a driver was set to pick the 3 of us, I did ask the driver to stop the car, but it was the middle of the road so he said we can't. That's not a joke, he's just an asshole. Not me but my wife before we met. There was an event in Salt Lake City and she was from Northern Washington. She had a crush on this guy and decided to join carpooling with him and couple other people. They stopped to grab some fast food and went back on their way. Well, as soon as he finished eating/drinking, he tossed the whole bag out the window while driving. After that, she barely talked to him, and once they got to SLC she left him and joined some other friends and went back home with them instead. He was an ass to our teacher because he was going to play baseball in college. Looked him up and he's definitely not doing it professionally and hasn't graduated yet. Edit. I looked him up to see if he was a professional baseball player yet. I liked to see if anyone that was good at sports succeeded, and he's kind of bounced around from university to university. Since it's been over 4 years since high school. That's why I threw in that he hadn't graduated yet. Went on a date with a guy to a Chinese restaurant, and as we were leaving he threw trash on the ground when there was a trash can a few feet away. Then we went to his house to watch a movie and he picked his cat up by the scruff of its neck and threw it. Not a set it down to get it off the counter kinda thing, but a legit throw across the room. I left right then and there and told him why. He called me a bitch and a tease. For whatever reason, never gave him the impression I was going to sleep with him that night, and was yelling at me as I was backing my car out of his drive. I got to the end of his road and blocked his number. Made fun of a chick who was into him for being chubby. He was fluffy himself, and I called him on it and walked away from that. He drove like an idiot while I was in the car. I literally thought he was going to kill us, and he was road raging the whole time. This was on the highway too. I asked him to stop driving like that and he didn't. Never going out with him again. They poked fun at my mom. Going to a primarily white school, him and a group of his guy friends always made fun of how she dressed and how short she was. I didn't super know him, but he was a part of the group that did, and that's all I needed to know. My mum is this sweet, short Asian woman who loves to smile, and yes, she sometimes wears goofy clothing, but no one makes fun of my mama. No one. Hey, we still good for tomorrow? Sorry, my boyfriend wants to come over. Great way to find out she both forgot about our plans and hit a BF. Told me she has a crush on my brother. I'm sorry, Luigi. It just wasn't meant to be. Crush on a girl my junior year of college. She liked to heavily make fun of people, and I mean hard. Like to the point I would say hi to someone I knew. After we walked off she would have some remark. She went from attractive to not wanting to be around her really quick. I had a crush on the girl who lived across the street from me, who I had already been friends with for years. Once we were teenagers, she learned a new skill: how to cut real deep with words, like slicing your calf muscle with words. Holy shit, this girl could make your depression go into overdrive with a single sentence, and she got a lot of practice. You forget to ask her how her favorite show was the day after a new episode aired, and she'd go over every sensitive subject you have. When she told me the day of my grandfather's funeral that my grandfather only died to get away from me, that's when I finally told her to go fuck herself, and that's when I learned that she can dish it but can't take it. She started posting videos of her making out with drunk old men to her Snap. We're both in college. This guy that I've been talking to for a while on Tinder, who I thought was cool, cute, but he never seemed down to meet up. One time he randomly messaged me to say he'd gone over to someone's place and they'd had sex 3 times. I think he was trying to make me jealous, but it just made me feel a bit gross. I've never understood this. If you're trying to make someone jealous, which let's face it you shouldn't be doing anyway, go with something simple like someone was flirting hard with me and I kind of enjoyed it. Basically saying, hey, I'm into you but met this chick, guy, and we banged would just make me think, okay, so they aren't that into me then, and gross, you can have them then, I'm ducking out. My friend started dating my ex. She had him ask me for a condom once at a party, knowing I didn't carry condoms since we had just finished dating for several months. We are no longer friends. Found out she was a cousin. We were in class together and it was all a pure coincidence. Neither of us had any idea until a family member casually mentioned to me, doesn't her name go to your school? Well, crap. Was crushing on this girl for ducking months, and it turns out at her last apartment she stole $1,500 for coke and abruptly ended the lease, giving her 2 roommates barely any time at all to find new housing, one of which had to move back in with their abusive mother. She ducked my dad. Best to not crush on your mom anyways. We were 5, had planned to marry when we got older with a pancake cake and everything. I was invited to his birthday party and he and his friend was climbing a tree with him being higher up. Suddenly he pees down on his friend. We never got married. Acting like a complete dickhead, and when I addressed it he said, I know I'm an asshole, but I'm really sexy like. Okay, suddenly, you're really not sexy at all. Found out he was a serial cheater and cheated on his exes with strippers and masseuses. Edit, just to clarify, he had sex with them. Some people in the comments didn't quite get it. Got someone pregnant. I worked up the courage to ask this girl to go on a date. She said yes. On the date, she proceeded to spend the whole time gossiping about anyone and everyone she could talk bad about. I still remember the moment it clicked that she was just super shallow and mean. Tease a bit different, but I had a moment when I was younger, maybe 15 or so, when I realized that my mum was like this. Anytime she could talk shit about someone, she would, and no one would be safe. It would be especially bad at family dinners, almost like her only topic of conversation was talking bad about someone. This was when I realized that I'd probably be reducing contact with her, once I'd moved out. He tossed an empty drink bottle onto a random lawn as we walked down the street. I went on a date with a guy and he stuck his gum under the table at a bar. WTF? We were in our early 20s and out of college, working at adult jobs, and this mother ducker couldn't even grab a napkin? Who does that? Oh man, that just pulled up a memory of a guy I was on a date with who keyed a random person's car for no reason as we were walking along. Awful. Edit, wow, I didn't expect all the upvotes and replies. Yikes. So, this happened about 25 years ago. I was a teen and didn't have a cell phone. I also was in an unfamiliar city. In retrospect, it was incredibly stupid of me to be in the situation I was in. He apologized for it. Why did he apologize to me? He was a stupid teen too, I guess, so I didn't report him. But I also did not go on another date with him. I feel bad for whoever's car that was, but I really didn't know what to do about it until it was too late. It didn't even occur to me that he was trying to impress me. Maybe that's why he apologized? Because it didn't work? I think he honestly regretted it. Threw rocks at a cat because she thought it was funny. That's no way to show appreciation to a funny cat. Dude, she knocked over my Lego Death Star, she had to go. Not my crush, but someone who had a crush on me, or so I was told. She asked for my birthday, and I told her. She then calculated that I was younger than her by a week or so and straight up said to me I did have a crush on a guy, but then I found out he was younger than me, so now there's not crush. Damn dude. Used a baby voice when speaking to me. We were out drinking, he got drunk and started fighting a guy that he thought had been harassing me. The guy said he didn't harass me, I said he didn't harass me. My crush still tried to defend me. Never lost interest faster. I had a crush on a guy in 5th grade. He found out about my crush and made a really hateful nickname for me and teased me about my body. Got all of his friends to tease me too. Realizing he was a garbage person set me straight pretty quickly.